Welcome in, everyone, to First Gear Network's broadcast of First Gear Racing GT3 Series Round 1 at Daytona International Speedway. I'm Jason, here live with you on track as we are in practice right now, watching some of these cars get around the track. A lot of new faces to go over, a lot of things to talk about as we start the season off here at Daytona. So we'll do a quick kind of a breakdown of everybody that's in the field that's on track, kind of introduce you to some of our new drivers, new members that have joined this season as we get ready for a what's to be an exciting season of 12 weeks, 12 rounds. Each round's going to have its own sprint race, 15-minute sprint, and then after the sprint race we will have a 5-minute like cool down, warm up, where people want to make laps or whatever before we have our 45-minute feature race. In between the sprint and the feature, the field will be inverted based off of where everybody finished that sprint race. So winner of the sprint race will start dead last in the feature. And that 45-minute feature, we will have a battle. See who can get up to the front and win that feature race each week. There will be points for both the sprint and the feature championships. They're going to have their own individual championships, and then there will also be an overall champion based off of overall points scored through both of those races over the 12-week season. So we will join right up here and check in with our reigning series champion, Kyle Heath, in the 13. He's on track currently, fastest right now with a 1:45.99. Looks like P2 on the board is Kendall. He doesn't look to be on track currently in the 78 Mustang. Third currently is Christopher in the 195. Another Mustang, real fast. 1:46.42 so far in practice. Fourth is Adam Lowe in the 58. He is not on track currently, not in the car either. Fifth is James Hodgson. Sorry, James. He's in the 202. Another good-looking Mustang. And then followed sixth on the charts would be the 60 of Jonathan, and another Ford Mustang. Good-looking car there. We've also got Travis Roberto on track in the 028. James Malloy is on pit road currently in his Mustang in the 92. We have Dakota in the 09. He's had her racing with Mark in the 80 right behind him. Wrong car, there we go. There's Mark. We got Ben Summerford in the 32. Joshua O'Brien in the 24. There's George Buck in the 28. Tommy Thompson's out on track in the 7. And there's Mark again in the 80. Andrew's out there in the 48. Mo's a Mustang. Joseph Klein in the 14. And then looks like he just jumped up to 10th from 16th on the charts. Good lap by Joseph. And then another car we haven't seen yet, he's not on track yet, would be the 38 of Tyler Merritt. Let's see, Kendall's on track now. We can look at his car. Sharp looking ride. Mark's doing a little off track there. So a lot of things to kind of go over. Just a quick breakdown of the season. Again, last season we ran the GT3 series for the first time we ran an hour-long race. And each week, that's what we did. We had a long practice, 20-minute qualifying, and then we went to race for an hour-long race. And we decided to split it up a little bit here. And so we're going to have still this half-hour practice, which has just got just under 9 minutes left. After practice ends, we will have a 20-minute qualifying session. And then when qualifying ends, we will go instantly into our sprint race, which is set for 15 minutes from the time of green, or 15 laps, whichever comes first. And at this track, it takes longer than a minute to get around, so this will be a timed event for the sprint race. When the sprint race ends, we will then have a 5-minute break for guys that restroom break, drink break, whatever. We'll also interview the sprint winner during that time. And then the field will get inverted, and we will have our feature race, which is 45 minutes long, or 45 laps, whichever comes first. And then from there, after that race is completed and we have our champions for the night, we will bring in the feature winner, second and third place, have some short interviews with them as well on their runs for the night. So that's what the kind of plan is. I'm going to do the best I can. I finally got my voice back. If you guys have been following me here in the past week, I've been kind of without a voice and got it back today, so I feel a little bit better, and hopefully get to call a really exciting event tonight. So I'm glad to have you all with me, and let's have fun tonight. Excuse me. So we'll just go to the race info here real quick. So tonight at Daytona International Speedway, the ambient temperature is 71 degrees. Humidity's up there at 84%. Now, there was no note of chance of rain for tonight's event, but with the humidity being high, we may see some fog in the racing this evening. We'll just have to wait and see how that plays out. Cloudy skies, which we've got some sun shining as it's getting closer to sunset. And then the wind is up to 12 miles an hour, so a little breezy, but nothing too bad. So the track temp's actually at 72 degrees. So ambient 71, track temp 72, really close together. And track length is 3.54 miles, pretty long road course, fun, fast, technical in the infield, and then get to carry some speed around the oval and use a lot of the banking that makes Daytona very special. So we should be loaded up and ready for some fun tonight. And it does look like our hostess with the mostest, Edwin James, made it in tonight just at the nick of time. We have some stuff to handle, so good to see him joining the lobby. Chose the McLaren for tonight's race. And it'll be good to look at these guys. We got some guys coming out on track together here. Put in a little pit party here with a few minutes left. Open back up our session information and our leaderboard currently. Is again the fastest man right now is Kyle Heath. We put it down and just show you overall best lap times in practice next to their car numbers there. decent amount of cars looking to do maybe a little practice start here. Everybody get lined up, and then they're probably going to call it off here to get going here pretty soon. Here they go, double file up. So that's what the start of the races will be, double file. And turn one here is pretty hairy. You get going up to speed at the start-finish line, and then it's a long sweeping left. And I apologize. Let me get the track map back up there just so we have that image to see where everybody's at. Coming to the start-finish line, and again we're coming to 3 minutes left in practice. This gives the guys about a lap and a half to practice to start before they get into racing earlier. Here we go. Inside line gets a really good run on that corner. Good job on all those guys making it through turn one. It's not easy to do. Now turn two, really hard right-hander here. Slow down. I'll actually turn the dashboard back on to kind of show the speeds these guys are running. Very fast, quick left-hander down into a hard braking right-hander. As we see, there's contact. The camera doesn't know who to follow. I have it on most exciting, so it's kind of following whoever's closest to each other right now. See if we can update itself at all here. Let's go. Guess it doesn't want to, does it? What's that? Let's do that. There we go. Still goes to Kendall and wants to follow him around. He's the most exciting. So props to these guys. Great little practice start there, and you know, making it around a lap here is not easy. When you do it in a pack, it's difficult, and these guys are getting a feel out for each other at this track for the first time. And for those of you watching at home, give us a shout out in the chat. Let us know who you think's, who are you rooting for tonight? Who do you think's going to win this first sprint race? Let's see what you guys think about that. Like I said, it's a 15-minute sprint after qualifying, so we still got to do 20 minutes of qualifying. But let me know what you think, who you think might be the one to watch. As practice time has concluded, all these cars will get reset back to pits. There they go. And now qualifying will commence. Again, this session should be set for 20 minutes. The timer will reflect that here momentarily. Here it goes. And the timer has started. Who's the first one out on the track? Like the 195 is going to be the first one out, as the lights are on, the sun is setting, has set. I don't see it in the background now. We got a little bit of light still back there in the background, but we are in sunset mode. So qualifying is going to get us pretty much to dark, And both our sprint and feature races will be held at night. Now Daytona has lights, so we're good there, and GT3 cars have headlights, taillights, and everything necessary to race at night. So this is going to be a fun one to watch. And this is open qualifying, so everybody can be on track at once. Now, any incident points earned during qualifying on a lap. Again, these guys are on their out lap, it doesn't count, but when they come around, take the green during any qualifying time lap, you can't have any incident points, so your lap will be disallowed. So we'll try to keep up on timing and scoring as qualifying happens, and what pops up for guys for their times and everything will show up on the left side of the screen. I actually have something a little bit better too. I'll turn on our, it's not that one. I must find it again. Qualifying mode. So this will give us an update down at the bottom of drivers that are on track and give us an idea of what they're registering lap wise. Purple being the best of any sector that's marked, and then you have green for personal best and yellow for not as fast as your personal best. So as everybody's out on their first lap, everything's going to be green. There's a purple. Joshua O'Brien takes, ooh, he had it for a second and somebody else took that third sector best from him. Christopher, fastest in the fourth sector. Now we're going to see these guys' times as they come around to complete their first lap of qualifying. We're going to see what everybody has on lap one. Start to set this field and see where everybody lines up, as we have almost everybody on track. Across the line comes the 195. 145.94 for his first lap. Kendall will slot second. Change this back to a gap here. We'll leave it at everybody's lap time so we can see what their best times are. So far, that 195 went out first and has set the bar. Not by a lot. As we load up the gaps, we're only just more than a tenth of a second difference between first and second. We're seeing this field as more and more cars are completing their first qualifying lap. The board is filling up as we've got 12 cars that have completed a time lap. Jump on here with Kyle Heath. He went purple, purple, and yellow, yellow. So session best in the first two sectors, slower in 3 and 4, and as he comes across to complete the lap, let's see if it's better. Is it enough? 146.804. Nope, he lost a lot of time in the middle of the track there somewhere, and so he's falling back to third as Kendall, the 78, is taking P2 currently. Joshua O'Brien spinning on call as soon as I call his name. So he's backing off the track, getting out of the way of an oncoming car. Well done, sir. And he got called out. Can't park there. I heard that from Mr. Hambrick. Can't park there. James is going to come around, looks like, to, in the 202 car, he's coming around to complete his first time lap. As you can tell, it's getting darker. Sun is getting down. These lights are starting to shine even brighter. He crosses the line and goes to ninth with a 147.642 for his first time lap. Okay, so we're checking in on Kyle Heath one more time. As at the bottom of the screen, it's telling me he did have a purple sector in sector 3 this time, but the other sectors 1, 2, and 4 yellow, so slower than his personal best. So don't know if this is going to be any faster, but he's got to get to a 145.9 to take the pole. That lap was fast enough, a 145.572. Kyle made everything up in that third and that fifth sector. That was a great lap. That puts him up by 3.5 tenths of a second over Christopher in the 195 car. Joshua O'Brien down to the bus stop, the back stretch of Daytona. Good looking Valvoline Corvette, shining under the lights. Now this is his out lap, so this will not count for time across the stripe this time, but then he will take the green to take time. Let's check in on Edwin. Fearless leader Edwin James. He is up to P6. He's coming down the backstretch right now to that bus stop. I don't know if it's just how the visuals are working with sunset, but I do see what looks to be a little bit of fog off to the distance. That humidity is a little higher up than what we'd expect. Let me pop the weather real quick just to get a double check, see if it's changed at all. It has. That humidity's up to 88%, so a little more humid. You see Edwin clock a little bit faster time, but he stays in 6th currently. Looks like we've had Austin Longnecker in the 95s join the server. He decided to come and show up in the only Audi in the field tonight so far. So we'll see if he gets on track here shortly and tries to put in some time here before we're about halfway through qualifying, just past halfway, so just under 10 minutes left. Kyle Heath is just setting burner laps now as His last lap by was a 145.283, so jumped up another 0.3 of a second away from the field. So as he's coming around this time, everything's yellow for him this lap so far, so I don't think we'll see an improvement, but heck, anything's possible. As Adam Lowe in the 58 just went up to P5. Great lap for him. So yeah, I don't think anything is going to improve here for Kyle's lap, at least looking at sector times. We'll see as he runs a 145.90, so still would have been a pole run, just not as fast as he's already run. Kendall's out here giving it his best, sitting solidly in P3 currently, getting this lineup set and being further in, in front of the field with what now looks to be 19 cars possibly in the field. The further up you are, the less you have to pass on this sprint race to try to get points, because points are only paid out to the top 10 positions. So that makes that sprint race even more important for that series, that standings. But then for the overall points championship too, is if you're not finishing in that top 10, points are structured to be basically first place gets 20, and then you deduct 2 points for each position down, 18, 16, so on and so forth, down till 10th. So this is this is important to have a good starting spot, to be able to have a good chance at having a point stay in that quick 15-minute sprint race. Now the downfall of the sprint race is once that's over, field gets inverted and then you got to start in the back. But for at least the feature race, you get 45 minutes to get to the front, and everybody gets points there. The standard first gear racing point structure is intact. We run it down from basically first place gets 40 points, and then each position after that is 1 point less all the way through the field, all the way to 40th if you were to happen to have a 40-car field. So, and for the feature, there is bonus points for fastest lap of the race, 1 bonus point, leading a lap in the race in the feature race is 1 bonus point, and then leading most laps in the feature race is 1 bonus point as well. We got just under 7 minutes left here. We're seeing a pretty good battle between these guys, trying to get to the closer to Kyle, as Kyle is still stretched out. He's on pit road. He said, "Okay, I'm good. I'm going to chill. We'll see what these guys do." It's going to report Tyler Merritt, who had joined. He's not able to race tonight. Looks like enough into his new internet, he would need to upgrade to get low latency. So the 38 shows in my standings, but he will not be racing with us tonight. So that'll leave us right now currently with an 18-car field. Look like Austin is on the track. He just completed his first time lap in that Audi. Just going to put him 13th currently. Christopher in the 195 did get a little bit closer to Kyle for second. He's only 4 tenths, just under 5 tenths off of Kyle Heath's pole setting time. We see Austin spin out there. Look at Ben Summerford. You know what, let's jump in the car. Let's listen to this poor scream as Ben is on his outlap currently. So we see down at the bottom of the screen, Ben has been yellow in the first 4 sectors, so not a personal best for him in any of those sectors. But it is timing it, even though it's his out lap, it's keeping track of his time, so to speak. So we see Edwin. He is in 7th currently, showing green in sector 3. See what he runs through here on sector 4 if he gains some more time. Right behind the McLaren here. We see what Edmund brings at the stripe here. 147, 128, so a little bit slower. There's the flames. There they are. Pop, pop. Jump in with Joshua O'Brien in the 24s. He's looking to better his lap. Oof. So close to those cones. What do those cones do to you? Oh, the Boom Malloys. Why are we Boom Malloy? Why are you gonna do that? Josh misses it by just under 1/10 of a second to better his lap time there. So looks like currently that our top 3 might be safe from the rest of the field here in qualifying. So nobody's really made a big improvement. Let's see what Edwin's got here. Yeah, car has slowed down on him. See Andrew. Get ready to come across the line here. And that lap was not registered, so maybe had an off track. Excuse me. So far, 16 drivers have attempted to qualify. Cars that didn't attempt in the session would be the 7 of Tommy Thompson and the 28 of George Buck. And like I said earlier in the chat, it was mentioned by Tyler, he wasn't able to get his internet squared away properly to be able to race tonight. So the 38 will not be in the field, since he hopes to be ready to go for next week. Qualifying is coming to a close here the last 15 seconds, and we'll be getting to the sprint race. Just like I said, 15 minutes. Top 10 score points towards the sprint championship, and then towards the overall championship as well. And the finishing order of the sprint race is completely inverted for the starting lineup for our feature race. So get those points in the sprint, and then you got to start in the back in the feature and work your way through the field over a 45-minute race. So everybody's getting lined up here. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's dark out, and it's foggy, because that's the blimp cam.
Thank everyone for showing up tonight.
quick recap for you here. Over on the right hand side, I am showing the weather currently. Humidity is 100%, so we definitely have a little bit of fog out there, as we can see from the blimp as the field starts to roll here. 18 cars in the field. And track temp 70 degrees, ambient temp 70 degrees, 9-mile-an-hour wind. This is gonna get fun. Hope you all are excited. Track map back on, showing everybody's positions. We'll actually switch to car numbers. That way it's easier to see the green circles showing the car that I'm highlighted on with the name down at the bottom left. We're gonna follow our pole sitter, Kyle Heath. Here's we go into turn 1. And I'm going to try to keep up with all the action, because there's bound to be some.
Going green this time.
All right, hang on for the ride, folks. As the pace car drops down on the pit road, we wait for the flag man. Barney, show that flag.
Green flag.
Green, green, green. 15-minute sprint is off and running. Kyle gets a good jump here on the field. Gets clear of second place. They dive it into turn 1 here. Looks like everybody's going to make it through. Jump on the gearbox of Kyle Heath. So we can see the fog around the track. It's hard to see the rest of the grandstands and everything. It's not super foggy, but it's there, so we'll wonder if it'll thicken as the night goes on here. See that? 195 in second place. Christopher is right there. We see a pass. Adam Lowe has gotten by Joshua O'Brien to take 4th place. Josh is now under the clutches. This is 202. James. As we see, Andrew Rose is dropping to the back a little bit here. He's gotten past. Biggest mover halfway through. It's going to be Jonathan Hamrick. He's up 3 spots. So is James Malloy up 3 spots since the start. Biggest loser so far is going to be Ben in the 32. We're seeing some blinking up here in front. Looks like Andrew's having connection issues again, maybe. It's blinking hard. James just got by Joseph Klein. He might get by the 202 here as well. Great racing all around. Go a little bit further out here just to show more of the field as everybody's spreading out. Show everybody's gain. And then let's take a look at our intervals. This will give us an idea of when somebody's closing in on somebody to make a pass and it'll go orange. So it shows us right now biggest gainers are the 3 cars behind Edwin, as everybody's catching up on him here. Let's see what happens. 14 makes a pass to the inside of the 202. Up front, nothing's changed. Kyle has just under a half a second lead as Christopher is closing in on Kyle here a little bit, and Kendall is not that far off either. You see that Mustang close in there going into turn one. A little loose out of turn one there, just under throttle, but still keeps it straight, keeps it solid. Heavy braking. We're only on lap 3, starting lap 3 here. I'm sure by the end of this, we'll probably see some bright orange brake rotors. These guys are going to be diving into these hard, heavy braking corners, trying to gain some time. So we got Christopher running second. Kendall's in third. Again, top 3, staying pretty close together there. A little bit of a gap back to Adam Lowe in fourth. It's just over 3 seconds back of the lead. Behind him is Joshua O'Brien in fifth. Joseph Klein is up 2 spots from his starting spot, up to 6th. He's just about 8 seconds behind the lead currently. Edwin back to 7th. I apologize, I did miss. It looks like we did have a crash. Let's go back and take a look real quick, see if I can catch it with Travis and Dakota are marked as crash. So let's take a look here and see what happened. Oh no. That was Travis spun on his own there. Okay. And he reset the pits. And then about the same time, it was registering something for Dakota as well. So let's, oh, about the same spot. Just spun it out. This car fired back up, gets a turn and gets back going here. Okay. Just for the record, fastest lap of this event has been turned by the third place car, Kendall Paul, with 78, 145.76 it's telling me. Looks like Christopher ran a 145.72, but it's not registering it as a faster lap, so maybe an off track or something like that during that lap. It doesn't count it if it's not a clean lap, so. You get no points given for the sprint race for fastest lap, but it's good to see who's coming and who's going, because these top 3 are still real close together. Looks like Edwin went down pit lane, maybe just clipped it. Let's go back and take a look. Maybe a bin here coming to... Oh, it just triggered it from being close to it in corner entry, it looks like, into turn 1. Okay. Not freaking out, didn't miss anything there. We got a record now of Andrew Groves crashing. Let's see if that's telling me correct. This is where we've seen a couple cars get loose, and yep, spun it around. Let's see, lock it up. All right, there he goes, back into first. Good to go. Now I've got another one. We're just going to be looking at crash reports here for a second, folks. I'm sorry. Dakota in the 09. Oh, it caught on him there. Let's go back to behind his car. Curb. Oh, and it jumped on him. It just turned sharp. Good save from keeping it out of the wall. Alright, so that's all of our crashes caught up currently, but we'll see if that continues or not. As Kyle Heath's last lap high was a 145.56, fastest lap of the race. And he is, I don't know if you call it stretched, but he has gained a couple tenths here, as Christopher now is closing that back in. And Kendall is not that far behind still, so the top 3 really close together here. You gotta remember in this sprint race, race 15 minutes, then you get the white flag, checker flag ends it, and then the top 10 finishing positions do earn points. So right now, our field is, our top 10 is Kyle, Christopher in second, Kendall's in third, Joshua's in fourth, Adam's in fifth, Edwin in sixth, Joseph in seventh, James in eighth, Austin is in ninth, and then James and Joseph just swap spots. James to seventh, Joseph to eighth, Austin still in ninth, and James Malloy is in 10th. And Christopher is there. He just ran the fastest lap of the race, 145.55, hundredth of a second faster than Kyle's fast lap, and he is gaining. So we're about to see a battle for the lead, I feel like, as we have just passed the 9-minute mark of this 15-minute sprint race. Blimp cam's hard to see. The chopper cam still works pretty well. And again, following through the top 10, we also have Ben in 11th, Jonathan in 12th, Mark in 13th, George in 14th, Dakota in 15th, Tommy in 16th, and Andrew is in 17th. Travis is in 18th, 2 laps down, 3 laps down, I apologize. This time. Looks like if he's just going to stay on pits after that spin, he's going to be most likely our pole sitter for the feature race. As 195 blinks there, but we see a run. Let's go on board here with Christopher. See how this entry goes into turn 1 here. He's got a draft on Kyle. He's got the momentum, but now he hits that wall. It's like he can't go any faster. Who's going to break harder coming into turn 1 here? They both choose about the same braking point. Great driving. Adam Lowe just got by Joshua for 4th. Kyle, I'm here. He's been there this whole race, hasn't he? And shout out to Kendall. He's not that far behind. These top 3 have pulled away to where, I mean, the gap between 3rd and 4th is over 7 seconds. These guys are gone. And then we go back to 4th and we see Adam up to 4th. He's up 1 spot from where he started. That puts Josh down 1 spot from where he started. Edwin's up to 6. He's gotten by James in the 202. See James taking a little peek inside maybe. Nope, gets back behind him. Gonna follow him to the bus stop here. Biggest mover so far this race currently is going to be the 92. James Malloy up to 10th, up 5 spots from where he started. Good looking car. Not a Ford guy, but dang it. Not a bad looking car. Great paint scheme. Love it. Adam and Josh can't figure out who wants to be in 4th because that just keeps changing back and forth. Same with Edwin and James here. Edwin seems like he's going to be able to hold him off coming out of the corner here. We just saw a pass here, possibly Dakota on the high side on the high banks. Gets by George. That's for 14th. Racing throughout the field here. This has been fun. Look at George, dive it in there, get by him. Got by Dakota. Ooh, squirrely Dakota, squirrely. So how hard does he overdrive it to get that spot back? Oh no, George spins. Dakota gets it back. Tommy Thompson right on his bumper though. As we have a battle going on up front. I just got an alert here. Christopher is there again. At the bumper, coming out of oval turn 4 onto the front stretch here. Can he do anything being that close going into braking here? What does Kyle do to prevent a pass from happening without overdriving the car? We're in the gyro cam. Not much gyro spin here. That we're not on the banking, but you can see Christopher just lost a little bit to him there. So it's not showing on my timing and scoring that they took the white flag last time. So I still think they have to go around another lap after this one. Should get the white flag next time by looking at timing and scoring. He's trying to get there. I mean, it's only the first round of the season, but points are points, positions are positions. A win is 2 more points than second. So these guys have put on a heck of a race, and they've distanced themselves from third by over 3.5 seconds now. So you see what they did here in the sprint, right? They started first and second. It's not the way it's going to work if they finish this way for the feature. They're going to start in the back for this feature. And that's where the inverted field and the challenge comes, is we're going to have to watch and see how these guys do coming through the field in that feature race. As Kyle's swerving and everything else. Oh, this is the checkered. It did throw the checkered this time. Kyle takes the sprint race win. So if they got informed correctly, I should see him in the waiting room here shortly. Wow. Kendall 3rd, Adam 4th, Joshua 6th, 5th, Edwin 6th, James 7th, Joseph Klein 8th, Austin up to 9th, James up 5 spots, gets that 10th place. Good for him. And we'll see if my waiting room fills up with somebody. And we'll interview Kyle for his sprint win if he gets over here. If not, we'll figure it out afterwards. Still waiting on a few cars to finish their lap here. So there are our, oh, and of course it blanks out on me. There's our Heat 1 results. So congratulations to our top 10 that get points. And Kyle is in the waiting room, so let's pull him in real quick. Kyle, you got a copy?
Yep. Got me.
Hey, I got you, buddy. Don't want to take up too much of your time here, but just want to say congratulations on that sprint win. Heck of a drive. What about the pressure you were getting from that 195 right on you? Christopher was on you there for a good bit.
Man, he was on me the whole bit, pretty much. He was getting me good through that bus stop. I couldn't get through the bus stop with the crap for some reason. I went through the bus stop so good throughout the whole practice session and qualifying session, but for some reason, I just could not get it during the race.
Yeah, well, you were putting down some mean laps in qualifying. In the race, like I said, it it was you Christopher and dang it, I'm having a brain fart right now. Kendall
Yeah,
started
Kendall.
first,
Yeah,
second, third, and you guys pulled away from the rest of the pack. And then as that run went on, Kendall kind of faded off, but Christopher was like within striking distance almost every lap. When you guys got to turn one, I didn't know which one of you was going to flinch or brake first. That was fun to watch.
yeah. Me neither. Me neither. I was, that's the furthest I broke pretty much all race in that last lap. Every
Yeah,
freaking turn. That was except for the bus stop. I actually took it more easy in the bus stop to get a good exit,
yeah.
and it still kind of screwed me because he was still able to catch me. I was sitting there, you know, draft dodging like I could,
Right, right.
like no other.
So now, here goes. Tables are turned. We're going to go into this feature race here in a couple minutes, and you're going to be starting dead last. So what's the plan now?
um, I don't know. I guess stay behind Christopher and let him
Let
go
him
through. Let
push the
him.
way, and
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
okay. All right, fair enough. That'll be fun to watch. Good luck in that, and hopefully we'll be talking to you at the end of the race, buddy.
Yes, sir, Jason. Take it
All right,
easy.
man. All right, that's Kyle Heath, our first round one sprint race winner of the season in the GT3 series. Sorry, I was tongue-tied there, figuring out how I wanted to put that. Congratulations to him, and congratulations to everybody that finished in the top 10 there. We've got a few cars using the warm-up session to make a couple laps. Looks like my overlay's playing tricks on me again. It always does that to me when I load in, so let's double check and make sure. Yep, it is frozen. So let me just real quick, I'm gonna close the overlays and we'll just reopen them. Make sure everything's working for tonight's event, so I apologize about that, folks. There it is. We're back up and running. Only have a minute left of this warm-up session. Again, it's just a short break if guys want to make a couple laps or get something to drink. Restroom break in between the races just splits it up just a little bit, gives everybody a moment, gives us time to interview that sprint winner too, which is nice. So now it's a 45-minute race. Field's going to be inverted from finishing order of the sprint race, so we're going to see what Kyle, Christopher, Kendall, all those guys, they're going to be starting in the back that were finished in the top 10 are now starting in the back half of the field. And we'll see how this field spreads out or separates, or excitement, I think, is what we're going to see. But we'll see. Alright, time is concluded on the warm-up session, so now we are ready to grid up for tonight's race. While we are waiting on everybody to get set up here, we're going to go over and pop the weather on the side of the screen here again. Take a look. We got 10-mile-an-hour winds, 68 degrees is the ambient temp now, and humidity still at 100% with a track temp of 69. So we're going to see everybody grid up here. And again, Tyler's not listed, so it's going to kind of goof the field a little bit since he registered before he found out he was having network issues. It technically puts him on pole, but he will not be there. So it will adjust the field. Move everybody up one, I believe. No, it did it right. Okay, it put Travis and then Andrew. It just, Travis doesn't get the actual pole. He's got to start on the outside, which is kind of a bummer. Andrew is blinking, so I don't know if he's disconnected or not. I love the picture, Travis. Thanks. Love it. Alright, so we're going to get our, actually we'll hide that for a moment. Yeah, we'll pop it up. We don't have time to pop through a grid right now because it's a short pace lap, but this shows where everybody's starting at relative to the field. So again, we're going to see our big guys in the back trying to make moves. As it looks like, I think Andrew's on pit road. I think he reset the pits for the blinking that was happening. So hopefully he can get back on track with us here. But yeah, we'll see what happens here. All right, pace car going to turn off on the pit road, and here we go in the fog, in the dark, at night. Daytona, green flag, 45-minute feature is underway, and Travis Roberto takes the lead. Looks like Dakota's going to follow him there on that high line and get clear of George maybe as they dive into one. 4 wide. Looks like Tommy Thompson just kind of bailed out there, let everybody by. Kyle got by Christopher. That wasn't his plan. We've got Dakota crashed. No. Edwin's off track. Christopher and Kendall got by as Kyle had to slow up. That was, I'm just going to go back here real quick because he was in front of both of them going into this corner. Oh, Christopher dove it in there. Got that position back from him. All right, so we see who's wanting to go. Christopher and Kendall are moving. Kyle is up to 11th. These guys aren't waiting around. Adam Lowe's up 11 spots up to 5th. Travis is checked out. Travis got a 2.5 second gap over Jonathan in second. And James Malloy. These guys are battling. Looks like I missed that Joshua O'Brien was marked as crash, so we're just going to go double check that real quick. Looks like coming around back onto the oval here. Oh, the car gets loose. No. All right. Oh no, the 202 James marked as crashed. Let's see what happened with him. Looks like coming into the bus stop. Goes to cut underneath. Oh, possibly a little bit of contact there. No, maybe he just tried to veer off to stay away. Oh, net coated. That and maybe a little bit of the curb. That seemed like a pretty hard veer, like it was contact. Or just landed off of the curbing. These guys are all out. As Travis's lead is smaller. And that time I reviewed one wreck, we had 2 more. I'm trying to keep up with it all, folks. It was like Mark and then George, maybe near the same time. Mark a little wide on entry. Oh, spins it right there. And then looks like George has a record. A little bit of contact. And and the tires they're not warmed up. These tires don't like it. Ugh. All right, so let's get back up to the front here as we see Travis is under challenge from the 60 of Jonathan. Now, Jonathan has caught him and brought the field with him. As we see Travis in first, Jonathan second, Joseph third, James Malloy fourth, Adam Lowe fifth, Christopher's up to sixth. Travis and Jonathan side by side going into turn one here. Travis has the preferred line and holds on to the lead as this pack is bundled up here for the lead. This is crazy, guys. Finally get to breathe for a second. We haven't had any wrecks in the past moment here. Definitely some hard racing. Really, really exciting. This is first gear racing at its best here. These guys are really fun to watch. Missed being out there in the GT3 series this season, but I'm enjoying this immensely to get to watch this racing. When you're on the track, you miss a lot of this stuff, and it has been really fun to get to watch it. We see a battle for third. The 195 is edging out on the 92 here. Let's see what happens as they come into the bus stop. Who gives way? Woo! That was some close racing there as James lets Christopher by. Gets in line in front of Kyle, though. So Christopher's up to third, James to fourth. Kyle is up to fifth. And we're on minute 5. The third lap of the race, and these guys have made their way into the top 5 after starting shotgun to the field. I apologize if I'm breaking up at all. It's telling me the chat keeps disconnecting, but it's not saying the stream is having any issues, so I apologize if anything is cutting in or out on my end. These guys all bunch up right there. It's so tight. Whoa. Joseph Klein just gets by James Malloy, goes for the crossover, and under braking. Oh, yeah, he gets by him again, gets it back. Oh, that was close. And 14 runs a little wide here. Ooh. James got a little squirrely there in the 92. But the 14 was running wider on corner there to see if he could get a run on him. But I don't think that's going to happen here. Our field is spread out a little bit. Still 18 cars on track, 18 cars on the lead lap. All 18 cars are almost on the oval. As currently, here we go, Dakota's getting on the oval now, so 18th place. Mark is up in 17th in the 80. George Buck in the 28 is in 16th. James Hodgson is in the 15th. Josh O'Brien is in 14th. Tommy Thompson's in 13th. James Malloy back to 12th. Joseph Klein, 11th. So they had a situation. I missed it. I happened to step away for a second. Let's go back and take a look, see what happened to James here. Oh, bus stop, contact with the 14, trying to go through sideways. Let a lot of cars by. Oh. So then that moves. Joseph Klein is in 10th. Ben up to 9th. Andrews in 8th. So Andrew, with whatever happened on the pace lap and starting from the pits, has stayed out of trouble and gaining some spots. Edwin's up to 7th. Austin's in 6th. Adam Lowe is up to 5th. Top 5 run for him. Kendall's up to 4th. Jonathan He's in third. And unfortunately, I missed it again. Something happened to Travis, and I'm guessing it was from the lead. Battling for the lead. Oh, net code maybe? Maybe it turned. Maybe they had contact here. Let's get up on the car here a little bit and see what happened. This is a battle for the lead too. Ugh. Yep. They just did a quick bump on the car, it looks like. So we'll go back a little bit further. Play real time. Yeah, net coded him. Dang it for Travis, and he watches everybody go by here. And looks like he is to the pits. Looks like we have a crash here involving Dakota, a little off track. And then maybe a slight spin out of the corner. Yep. And then Edwin on the oval coming into turn one, back into the infield. Oh man, hard in, and yeah. Didn't want to run into the back of Austin there. Made a little bit of overdrove and just had to use a little bit more brake than what he planned on. That puts him in ninth. We got crashes happening all over the track. Adam Lowe. Got him marked for crashing twice, so I don't know if it actually happened twice. Here we go. Spins right in front of Austin. That was Austin. And gets it righted, and then let's see what the second one's for. Oh, it's the same one, it just marked it twice. So, okay. Back live. Let's check on this lead battle here real quick, because these two made it all the way from the back to the front. Reverse order from where they finished that sprint race. We're only 11 minutes into this 45-minute race. There will more than likely require a pit stop based off of fuel necessity, so there's still strategy to be played in this race as well. As we currently have 17 cars in the lead lap. Travis Roberto is 2 laps down now. See, after that spin, net code contact, whatever you want to call it there, for the lead, while battling for the lead in turn one. He towed the pits, and I think he might have called it a night. Which is a bummer, because he had bad luck in the sprint race, and got a chance to start from pole and was leading this race for multiple laps, and you know, still put himself in a good position to have a good run, even if these guys got by him. But net code contact, from what it looks like, caused that car to spin. Yeah, and that's a bummer. It's sad to see that for him, because he was putting in a good run. All right, as we're coming down the backstretch into the bus stop, Kyle took a peek, backed up the corner though. He said Chris was really good in the bus stop. And this time, Kyle really good in the bus stop, and looks like Christopher goes high to let him pass by, possibly. I don't know if that was planned or not, but you know, it's a longer race. Got to make smart moves and choose when to push and when to hold back a little bit, and have that patience to not battle or overdrive the car or put yourself in a position to wreck out. So we'll see what Kyle does here from the lead, if Christopher just stays with him, or if Kyle's just faster. He might be. Kyle said he was taking it easy into the bus stop in that sprint race, but took it harder in turn one than he ever had. So as he changed his outlook now that he's got the lead back. As we just break away here, just check through the field, looking at some close battles. Battle for 4th. 60 and the 95. Battling for 4th and 5th place as Austin looks to the inside. Doesn't have enough to put his nose in there, but staying within a few tenths of a second of Jonathan. As they come through this corner here, coming back on the oval, you can gain a lot of time here if you can put the power down and not spin out. Both cars seem to do it pretty equally there. All right, let's jump in the car. Let's right back here with Austin so we can see what's going on by getting the right car. Josh O'Brien just took 11th from James. Move Josh up a spot to 11th. All right, so here's the look for Austin as he's looking on the outside of Jonathan. Jonathan comes up. Austin's looking for probably a wide entry. Yep, sure does. Waits till James. Oh, man. Can he get it woed down? Can they get either of them get it woed down? Woo! They both drove it in there deep. Great defense by the 60 and great drive by the 95. He was out in no man's land there, and that's sketchy, bumpy track. Car gets uncomfortable over there, so good driving by him to not spin out there. So while we're watching this battle, again, Austin is still closing back in. Looks like Edwin is closing in on Joseph Klein. Oh no! No, not the curb! The curbing got Edwin. Alright, he's getting back on track. No damage. Just lost a few spots. Got to get back at it. Long race. 15 minutes down, almost 16 minutes down, so we've still just got 29 minutes to go. Still anything's possible, but it's always tough to have a setback like that. He was charging, trying to make a pass, trying to get in position for a pass. All right, so go check on that lead. All the way down to second gear. Excuse me, sorry. They're getting by the lapping the car of Dakota, Cleveland in the 09. A little bit of a gap between those two now. We'll go back and check. Looks like Austin's still putting the pressure on Jonathan here for 4th. These guys won't get away from each other. And as they've been battling here, Andrew Groves is slowly creeping in. He was in 7th. Now he's up to 6th. He's gained within a second of Austin, and he's almost there. So we could have a three-way battle for 4th here coming. As the first two, Kyle and Christopher, have jumped out to a 7.5 second lead over 3rd place Kendall Paul. Kendall has a 5-second gap over Jonathan in 4th, so a little safety buffer there between 2nd and 4th. He's kind of a man on the island all by himself right now, but running comfortably in 3rd place. As Austin finally gets this run, he's side by side. Oh, they touch. Banging doors at Daytona and not in a NASCAR. This is fun. These GT3 cars are so fun to watch. These guys are staying side by side. Great momentum from both of them. Great driving. Let's see what happens going into turn 1 here. So tight, so tight. Andrew makes a great lunge from behind, too, as these guys were side by side. I guess Andrew within striking distance of the 60 as Austin takes that 4th spot, having the preferred line into turn 1 and gets clear of Jonathan. Great racing by these guys. And Jonathan flashes his lights. We see you, Jonathan. We see you flashing your lights at Austin. That was some fun racing to watch. So now we're going to watch Andrew here. As again, he's caught these guys while they were battling. He's been gaining. So as we ride with him, jump in the gyro cam. We're in the passenger seat, doesn't really gyro. It's a lie. Yeah, we'll watch it from the cockpit here. See if he can gain here on Jonathan going into the bus stop. Because while we were watching that battle, it does look like we had an incident for Joshua O'Brien has a mark for crashing. So let's go back and check that out. Going through the high-speed corner, going under braking. Oh, I saw it high side. Oh, just a little bit too much momentum. Had to use a little bit more brake. And the 202 goes around the outside to get by. Great driving by all those people. It's phenomenal. Car in the middle of the track, everybody gets by. No damage, no big wreck. So as we jump back live here, let's go back to the lead. We're going to see that Kyle has stretched it out just a hair. He's over a 1.2 second gap on Christopher. 20 minutes down, 25 minutes to go. Still anything can happen. These two have separated themselves from the field, kind of like what they did in that sprint race, right? But we've gone, longer than that sprint race, even though they showed they can start from the back and get to the front within 15 minutes. So put these guys anywhere in the pack, and they're showing that they've got the speed here at Daytona for sure. And Kyle, like I said at the beginning of the show, he is the defending champion in this series. And he really put on a heck of a dominating show in these cars last year at the tracks we went to, and seems to be returning with some of that mojo. Christopher's new to the series, so is Kendall, and so two new faces have joined in, and they're here running second and third, and that's awesome to have some new faces in here, and see them come in and again with their experience be able to put it to it here on this track here tonight and run top 3 so far this race, even in the sprint race. So well, a couple updates for you. Looks like Andrew is still close behind Jonathan as Austin is pulled away in 4th just a little bit from these two. So let's see what Andrew does going into turn 1 here. See, he looks low, tries to shallow up this corner. Looks like Jonathan runs a little wide on entry, and Andrew's going to get that spot. So Andrew up to 5th, Jonathan back to 6th. We see James, looks like we got some pit stops are happening. And I hit the wrong button. How about that? How about I hit the wrong button? That's always good, right? Just want to see pit stops here as we got some drivers coming down pit road. Some are going to take tires, some are not. I know everybody's going to get fuel. So we're going to see how this plays out as we're hitting that 22.5 minute mark. We're past halfway. We just reached halfway of the time distance for this race. So these guys are splitting it up. So 21 seconds by Joshua O'Brien, 23-second pit stop by James in the 202, and a 22.28 second stop for Joseph Klein in the 14. Dakota also made a stop earlier on lap 8, so it's been a moment. That's why he's a lap down now. Christopher is coming down pit road now. So this is the strategy call. Christopher's going to pit before Kyle. Kyle's staying out on the track. So with that, it looks like Kendall stays out on track as well. Austin Longnecker comes down pit road. Adam Lowe down pit road. So we've got a few takers here from the leaders, the lead pack, as we're going to see pit stop times. Revving it. I hear the engine revving. 21.17 second stop. Yeah, these guys are ticking tires. They probably feel it's the best chance to have an overall good run is to have those fresh tires for that second half too, not try to run on the same tires the whole race. It can be pretty difficult here. And check with Edwin. Edwin hasn't made a pit stop yet. With others making stops, and moves him up to P6 currently. And we're about to see another round of stops, most likely. We'll see if Kyle makes that call this time around. Again, usually with the fixed setup, you usually have just over 30 minutes of fuel, so it's not like you got to stop right at halfway, which he doesn't. He chooses to stay out, clean air, try to put down the best lap times he can. Looking at lap times, I mean, he just ran a 1:45.77. His best lap in the race is a 1:45.41. So he's putting, you know, pretty decent laps together. He's not dropped off the pace too far. So he's going to try to stretch it out with the lighter fuel load he has currently and get the most out of these tires that he can before he pits. So Kendall's running second. He's currently 12 seconds behind Kyle. Now we've got Andrew and Jonathan. Look to be coming down pit road. Trying to find a shot that doesn't get blocked by the stands. Dang it. Like both these guys are going to do the same thing. So as they've continued their stops, Jonathan is going to beat Andrew off of pit road. So Jonathan with an 18-second stop. Andrew with a 21-second stop, and that's the difference in that position. All right, so back to the lead. Again, another lap for Kyle. Let's listen in. Let's ride along and see if he makes that call this time. Or is he still going to stay out and continue to run these lap times that are darn close to his fastest lap? Nope, here he comes down to pit road. We'll ride with him as he makes this pit stop. Hits a stall. Up in the air, get tires and fuel. Kendall is pitting behind with him as well, so we'll see Kendall come around mostly right in front of him here. There he is. We're going to watch to see how this battle works with Christopher in oval turn 4. All right, Kyle's down and away. 22.3 second pit stop, so just a second slower than Christopher. Christopher was within a second when he pitted. How close is this going to be? Because he's got to come around the corner before he hits the speed limiter. And he does. He still comes out as the leader. Great pit stop. Great strategy to run a couple more laps. He gained some time doing that. So the overcut. The overcut works today. Now Kyle's tires are cold. So this first lap is going to be treacherous. Got to be real careful with the curbs, the amount of brake. amount of gas, throttle you're using on corner exit with the wheels turned. He's got to be careful that these tires get up to temp. So Christopher should be able to close a little bit. But it looks like 3.4 second gap between first and second currently. So Kyle has come ahead with that lead. He's kept it. And Christopher has some catching up to do if he wants to win this feature race and keep Kyle from sweeping round 1 at Daytona. The blimp shot just not working tonight because of the fog. That humidity in the air. Bummer, I always like a blimp shot here, certainly at night. Alright, so let's do a rundown through the field. Get you an update where everybody is on track. So we know Kyle's up front. Christopher in the 195 is in second as he's coming up on George Buck here. George is a lap down. We've got Kendall in third. Again, he's got a decent gap over Jonathan in fourth, but he's 12, 13 seconds back of Christopher in second. So kind of on a island all on his own in third. Now for fourth, we got a little bit of closer battle. So Jonathan is in fourth, mowing the grass as soon as we go to him. Heck of a save getting it back on track. Oh my goodness, these guys, great racing. Austin and Andrew are there just fighting, just ready to go. Oh no, Andrew, almost thought he was going to run into the back of Jonathan there. Great driving, guys. And Austin is going to hold on to fifth as they battle it out to try to see who's going to be fifth first off, and then try to get to Jonathan to see who's going to be fourth. So Austin's fifth. Here we go. We're going to ride. Andrew's basically pushing him down the backstretch. Hard on the braking. Swing the car in, swing it back out, back on the throttle, up over the curbs. So he lost a little bit there. So guess what's right behind Andrew is Adam in seventh in the 58. He's there for that battle. So you got 4 cars battling for 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, all close together there. We've got a little bit of a longer gap back to Joseph. He's currently in 8th. James is in 9th. James the second, the 202, is in 10th. Joshua O'Brien, he's had ups and downs tonight, a few more downs than what he'd like. He's managed to get back up to 11th. Same for Edwin. He's had a couple off tracks that have put his charge to the front to a standstill as he is battling with Josh here. Tries to cross him over coming out of one there. Not able to get position. Good drive by Josh off the corner exit there. So Josh is 11th, Edwin's in 12th. We got Ben hanging in there, hanging tight. He's in 13th currently in that 32. Great looking car. Got Tommy. Tommy fresh off of a top 3 the other night in IndyCars. Got 3rd place. The IndyCar race Monday night for First Gear Racing. Great finish for him. Well done. Well deserved. Only driver on the track with 0 incident points that night. He's been racing clean tonight. Trying to stay out of trouble and managing for 14th place currently. Behind him is going to be Dakota in the 09. He is 15th place. It's the next car to go a lap down. Last car on the lead lap, I guess the best way to say it. We have Mark in the 80. He's running 16th. He's the first car 1 lap down. And we have George Buck in the 17th place. He's 1 lap down as well. 18th is Travis. He was out earlier from the contact or net code thereof in turn 1 incident, lap 4 I think it was. Went to pits and never came back out. I think he called it a night. So 17 cars still on track, and we still got 15 on the lead lap. Excuse me. Checking here at the lead, we've got still 3.7 second lead. It still looks like our biggest entertainment for your value for battles on the track right now is going to be for this 4th place. Jonathan's still holding on to it. Adam Lowe, though, has caught and passed Andrew and Austin and said, my turn, as he looks to cross over the... Oh, no, no, no! Oh, no. Ah, that was rough. The 60's got to be furious right now. A little bit of contact. I don't think it was intentional. We will obviously go back and watch that because that was close. Let's find a better camera angle for this. We're gonna go up top here. As we were watching it live, he went for a crossover on him. Looks like the 60 went for maybe a little bit of a block. We're gonna slow it down here. There we go. Dang it. There we go. He looks high. Drops down low below him. 60 right here comes down. I think it's a little too late, because the bumper's already there, and it's just then he goes to turn up to, because he knows the 60's turning that way. So like I said, doesn't look to be intentional, but they both missed a braking point. 60 tries to power through the bus stop there, as they both probably took some off track, and probably a warning from the stewards to give up time for cutting that bus stop. So we go back, and fortunately it looks like the 60's missing his wing. Looks to have some heavy damage here. The car doesn't overall look terrible, but with no wing, I don't know if he has wheel damage or not. He's definitely taking it slow around the track here. While we are taking a look, waiting on that, we're going to go check on an incident. Looks like Joshua O'Brien crashed and towed to pits. So a little off-track curb, tried to catch it, and stops the car and says, nope, that's it. Before that, we also had a mark here for Ben. Says he had a crash, so I'm not certain what happened here. If he gets spins out under power, overdrives, has to turn the wheel, lock the brakes up, and spins out. Okay. So no incident, like contact by those two, but 13 took a while to get back around here. While he's doing that, looks like we had Dakota This corner's been treacherous. Let's see, does he get him? Oh! Right on exit, just a little bit too much throttle, and the car just comes out. Jonathan goes from racing for 4th to back to 15th, currently on pit road. I would assume getting a fast repair, but feel for him. It's hard racing there, but hard to call on what could have happened or what could have been better for sure. At least from the standpoint of what we were seeing, looks like Adam had made a move to the bottom to be underneath them, and the 60 came back to the left, and they just had bumpers touch. So I don't know if that'd be for a block. They were both entering the braking zone, and neither of them had gotten on the brakes. So close racing, tough incident. Always bummer to see it when it takes somebody out, but it's hard close racing, and it's what happens. So hopefully cooler heads will prevail, and everybody will be good to go here continuing on. So as we check back in on the leader, Kyle's up to a 5.2 second lead. So continuing the dominance that he showed last season, coming to 5 minutes left to go in tonight's feature race. Christopher is in second. We said 5 seconds back. Great start to the season for him. New member in the First Gear Racing. Great to have him. Appreciate him coming and joining us this year. Another fellow Canadian, so we've got 2 Canadians now. 3 if you count Ivan, because Ivan is Canadian. He just lives in Florida now. He retired from Canada, moved to Florida. But Mark and Christopher both hail from Canada. It's good to have him with us. Then Kendall's in third. Still a solid third place, 18 seconds back of second. 12 seconds ahead of fourth. Adam Lowe's in fourth. And he's got about 2-second gap on Austin, as Austin has gotten by Andrew to take fifth. Looks like I just missed a Mark crash, so did it happen while I was talking about him? Commentator's curse. I wasn't even trying. Let's see what happens here. This is the tricky corner. This corner. Pesky, son of a gun. As we go live, he's in that same corner. Getting lapped by Austin here on the inside. So after Austin in 5th, we have Andrew back to 6th. So dropped a spot here. And he's got Joseph Klein kind of closing in on him, it looks like. Just under a couple seconds back. In 7th for that 14 Chevy Camaro. James Malloy running 8th. Good run for him. James in the 202 in that Mustang. His first race with First Gear Racing as well. New member joined. Raced with him over in the AMA series in the Xfinity cars, and had fun racing with him on ovals and doing the NASCAR thing. And he found out about us over here and wanted to come join. So glad to have him. Welcome in, and good run for him there in 9th place here for his first event. And Gingerbread Man, the hostess with the mostest, Edwin James running P10 currently. Kind of an up and down race for him. A few instances off track, stuff like that, a couple spin outs. But still managing a top 10 run tonight. Ben Summerford running 11th. Tommy Thompson running 12th. Again, talked about him just a little while ago. IndyCar series race, the first round on Monday. He came home with the top 3 at Auto Club Speedway in the IndyCar series. So third place for him. Well done for Tommy, as he's running 12th here tonight. Dakota is running 13th. Mark's running 14th. And Mark, last night in the IndyCar Series in the Canadian E-Motorsports Network, that league, they raced Indy cars at Detroit Belle Isle. Not many cars finished that race. Mark had some damage, but was able to get it repaired and come out on the track with a crooked steering wheel, complete a couple laps, and finish 6th place last night. Great finish for him. Didn't get to run all the laps, but kept it in there long enough to get a top 10 in that's a really tough competitive series. So good for him. He's running 14th tonight. And then George Buck is running 15th. And then currently it looks like Jonathan, Joshua, and Travis are all off track, calling it a night. Just issues abound. And we see Kyle Eder flashing his lights. As he's coming. It didn't tell me if they got the white. I'm going to assume that based off the timing and scoring, this could be the final lap. The 6.7 second lead. Flashing those lights, Kyle is. Flash away, buddy. And we have hit the 45th minute, and the checkered flag is out. Kyle Heath is going to come home and sweep round 1 at Daytona. Christopher comes home second. Waiting for Kendall. He's on the back stretch, or coming out of turn 4 onto the front stretch to finish third. Third place for Kendall. Congratulations to those three, top 3. We should see in the waiting room here shortly. And we'll do interviews with our top 3 finishers of tonight's feature race. Ask them how the race went, how they felt. So Adam comes home 4th, Austin 5th. Great drive by both of those guys. There's Joseph Klein coming home 6th. Andrew Groves 7th. James Malloy gets a top 8. There's the 202. 9th place. Good job. Edwin comes home 10th. And then Ben is coming out of turn 3, oval turn 3. He's got to come around. And he will finish P11. He will be the last car to finish. Last car on the lead lap. Great job, Ben. Good job tonight. All right, we will be right back in just a moment for interviews. Edwin with a little bump for him. Congratulatory bump. Nice. Congrats to Kyle. Well done. He's making the donuts. Kyle Heath, folks, making the donuts. All right, let's check in here. I don't know if nobody's gotten into the waiting room yet, so we're just waiting on our top 3. If they're in our Discord here to hop down into the waiting room so we can do interviews with Kendall coming in 3rd, Christopher in 2nd, and Kyle in 1st. See if any of them come in and have a short little interview with each one of them. looks like we've got Christopher. So what I'm going to do, just real quick. All right, so I do see Kendall in third, so we will start with P3. We'll get Kendall up here. We'll do our interview. Hey, Kendall, it's Jason in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you, Jason. What's going on?
Hey, man, congratulations on your third place tonight. First race with First Gear Racing in the GT3 series. Tell us about your night, man. How'd it go?
It was a really fairly good night. I mean, we with the invert, we had to start in the back, right near the back, and it was a little sketchy going through the field, and about got into that wreck in the bus stop. That was a little scary, but picked our way through and got up to third. And once we were to third, we kind of ran away from the pack behind us, and but Kyle and Christopher, they were both on another level. It kind of felt like I was in my own little world for most of that race, but it was a really good race, really fun, and a really good test for the 24 hours here coming in here in about 2 months. So really excited about that here coming up. But yeah, pretty good night for the Archway Industrials, Blackmagic Studios, Ford Mustang.
Yeah, great drive in both the sprint and the feature. Third in both, if I recall right. Third in the
Yep.
sprint, right? Yeah. So first showing out. Great job. We're glad to have you in with us here in this series, and appreciate you coming and racing with us and putting on a heck of a show. And congrats. I mean, that's a great start to the season. Decent points. We'll get the point standings updated here a little bit later tonight, but should turn out to be a solid P3 in the points as well for you, finishing third in both of those races. And can't wait to see you back on track next week.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for putting this on, and thanks for broadcasting tonight.
Yeah, appreciate it, Kendall. You have a great night, and we'll see you next week. Okay, buddy?
Yep, you too.
All right, thank you. All right, so that's Kendall, our P2 finisher, our P3, and now we're going to bring in Christopher, who finished second today. Let's bring him on in here to the broadcast. Christopher, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Hey, welcome in, bud. Congratulations on the race tonight. P2 in both the sprint and the feature race. Tell us about how do you feel about your night? How did you feel like that went? Did you have any troubles or anything you could have done better to maybe compete for that win with Kyle tonight?
I think I would have choose the Porsche knowing it was faster than that, but yeah, I tried the Mustang. I knew it was fast on the straightaways, but I had it going in the bus stop, but in the center I was not able to have the speed of Kyle. I was just trying to stay in the draft, but when I lost the draft, it was done for me.
Yeah, that Porsche is hard to beat, and from what I learned at least last season, getting to experience it when we ran it last season, is the Porsche was Kyle ran it all season. I ran the Corvette a little bit. I ran the Porsche. We tried different cars to try to see where we could match up with him, and it was difficult. And the Mustang is got a lot of good straightaway power. It seems like it just gets hindered just a little bit in the corners, but overall, great drive for you. You guys put on a heck of a race, and for your first race with us here in First Gear Racing in this GT3 series, heck of a drive for second in the sprint and second in the feature tonight. Do you have anybody you want to give any thanks to, shout outs to tonight?
Just shout out to my girlfriend. She's sleeping, but she's gonna listen it tomorrow morning, and just a shout out to my dad for all of what he's done for me with the simulation and the real car drive, and yeah, that's it.
Well, we appreciate that, Christopher, and thanks to you for coming along and running with us, and congratulations on your finish, and great job for the points here week one in, and we'll see you next week, okay?
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
All right, have a good night.
Have a good night, you too.
All right, that was Christopher. Came in second in the sprint and the feature tonight, and so now we get to bring in the man, the myth, the legend, Kyle Heath. Do you got a copy?
Maybe.
I
Let's
feel
see.
like
Jason, you there?
I feel like
Okay,
we're going to be
gotcha.
doing this a lot. I don't know. Heck of a drive tonight. Congratulations on sweeping round one. of the sprint and features in the GT3 series. Heck of a show. Got guys going, what in the heck's going on? Maybe I should have picked the Porsche. That's what Christopher just said. He said he felt like he may have picked the wrong car. Well done. Great strategy, and I mean, even staying out those few extra laps before pitting, you were running lap times that were comparable to your fastest of the night with that lighter fuel load. You were really managing the tires well, so well done. And I don't know, what do you got to say for that? What kind of dominating night is that for Kyle Heath?
Well, I do want to apologize for there's a couple people in here. I think Joseph Klein, one of the I think coming to the horseshoe, international horseshoe. One of the turn. I think it was like the what, not the first turn, second, third, the first horseshoe turn, U turn.
Yeah.
I dove it in there a little bit. I broke later than I wanted to, and it just kept kind of going forward. Luckily, everybody gave me room, and there was a little bit of tire rub, bender going on. I did not mean to do that. I just want to apologize if anybody's out there listening for that. Was not my intentions. I was just trying to stay low as I could, but the car kept washing up on me.
Yeah, there was
But
a lot of
trying to
tough
I was
track
trying to
control.
stay in yeah, I was trying to stay in Chris's tire path because I knew he was going to be the fastest one out there. I was just trying to stay with him. With him being in the Mustang, he had a straightaway speed, but I had the infield speed where I was able to, cut down low in the corners and keep my speed up at the same time.
Yeah,
But
right.
it was real tough to stay ahead of him in the heat race. It was really tough because being so close. But once I broke that draft from him in the feature, I was able to slowly walk away.
Yeah, when you came off, I mean, when he pitted, he was like within a second of you, and you having those 2, 3 clean laps, um, and your pit stop was about a second slower than his. Now, I don't get to see pit time in, pit time out, but overall, you came out with a 4.5, 5 second lead or whatever it was, or three, I think it was 3.5.
Yeah, three.
Um,
Yeah.
and so that was a big enough of a buffer where he couldn't catch you, and you just kept putting down burner after burner after burner and stretched it out there. So great job tonight. And it's one down, 11 more to go. Is this a theme we're going to see week in, week out, or you got some competition here in the league, huh?
Yeah, that's hell of a competition. I mean, you never know what's going to happen with these races. Now that it's
The inverted
switched up,
field. Yeah, the
having the
inverted field is going
yeah.
to really make it. I mean, you guys put on a heck of a show
Daytona,
getting through the field.
Daytona is one of those like, quote unquote super speedway tracks where you actually have a little bit of room,
Yeah.
to navigate. But
Yeah.
then we do have a lot tighter tracks coming up. So, if
It
whoever
starts.
whoever starts in the back, they really got to take, be careful, because you don't know people's breaking points.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you got to be considerate of everybody else around you, and you know that a lot of those cars that are ahead of you are slower, and they're going to be, their entries are going to be a little bit different than yours, and managing that and keeping from having any big trouble or incidents, and next week we're probably going to see it because we go to Sonoma. It's a tighter track. There's no long straightaway to gain, a bunch of time on somebody, so that should be interesting to see how that works out next week.
Yeah, definitely. Because you know what? This will be my first time in the GT3 cars at Sonoma.
And I
I've done a
apologize.
lot of
It's
NASCAR.
not next week. It's two
I was
weeks
about
out. We got a break
okay.
next week for the holiday, but our
That's
next
right.
race is
Yeah,
in
but
2
still,
weeks.
it's still
Yep,
Sonoma.
Sonoma.
No
Yep,
matter
yep.
what.
So yeah, that's I don't know if that could be kind of fresh for a lot of people. I don't know. I don't think I've ever run GT3 at Sonoma. I think that would be a first for me as well. So yeah,
But the thing
that should be
is, I
interesting.
don't know which Sonoma it is. Is it Sonoma with the little horseshoe? The little,
Well, I
you
can't
know.
I can't confirm nor deny currently because I don't have that on my screen. But I would have to pull up iRacing to look at it, and I don't have that up right at the moment with the stream going. So,
Yeah.
but I think it is the full. I'm pretty certain it is the full with the horseshoe and everything, the long course.
They call it the carousel. Yeah, the
Yeah,
carousel turn.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain that's the one that Edwin set us up for. But
This
yeah,
should still be exciting. You
yeah.
know, a new one for me. I'm pretty sure probably a new one for a lot of other folk out there. And as I look at this, nope, it's a NASCAR version, so
Oh,
no carousel.
okay. All right. Well, thank you for checking that. So NASCAR version it is. So no carousel. So a little bit shorter track, a little tighter. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. That track is tight and crazy in NASCAR in Cup cars. So you
Yeah,
throw these GT3s
there's
on there. It's
very minimal breaking points.
right, right. You got to be really on your game there. So, well, we'll see you back in a couple weeks from now for week 2 for round 2 at Sonoma. Congratulations again on your win in the sprint and the feature tonight and the pole. So you basically triple crowned it. We'll probably have to get that marker saved up there. We're gonna have to make a triple count crown board for the series and see how many of those happen this year. But congratulations. Any shout outs? Anybody you want to thank before we call it a night?
Yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out to everybody in the league. You know, everybody who joins up each and every week. Depends on whether you're racing Monday nights, Wednesday nights, or Saturday nights. You know, also everybody to join. I wish I could do Monday nights, but my schedule would not let me. I want to give a big shout out to my wife. She allowed me to race tonight. Maybe she'll let me race every Wednesday from here on out. I'm lucky enough to get on whenever I can, but you know me. There's times where I get in with like 5 minutes left to qualifying, and I'm like, barely able to race. So
Yep. Well, we're glad to have you, and we're glad that you and your family are able to, you've been able to work yourself into our schedule the best you can. I know Monday nights is difficult with how early we start and all that, but it's glad to have you on Wednesday nights and Saturday nights, and we've got more coming down the pipeline. So there's going to be plenty more opportunities to see Kyle Heath on track and putting on a show like he is tonight, and I'm sure we'll see you in a couple weeks at Sonoma, my friend.
yeah, you'll definitely see me Saturday night, and
All right.
I'm gonna miss my college football game in order to race Saturday night.
Well, that's only because we're going to the track, but we
Yes.
already talked about that, so we've already killed some airtime on that. But we will see you Saturday night, and I know you'll have the game on, so you'll know what's happening. But I know where your focus will be is taking care of tires at Atlanta and Gen 6 Cup cars on Saturday night. So I'll see you on track then, buddy.
Yep. Hey, I want to get another shout out to everybody who watches tonight
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
each and every night. I mean, they don't get enough of shout outs. I'm pretty
Yeah, our
sure. But
fans
people who
are
come in and
following. Yeah.
watch and hit that like button. Everybody, it don't matter who you are, hit that like button.
We are up to 50 subscribers as of earlier
Oh,
today for
nice.
First Gear Network, and I mean, literally, we put this up a month ago.
Yeah,
So shout out to everybody that's following, watching, and share it. Let's get it out there and let's keep it growing because we're not going anywhere. We're going to keep this road going, and it's only going to get bigger and better. And it's only because of our fans that watch is why we're doing this. So thank you to all the fans. Appreciate that shout out, Kyle. And we're going to call it a night here. I'm going to go ahead and get Kyle back to the chat, and we're going to
I
close
got you.
this out. Okay, buddy? And there we go. So again, congrats to Kyle on winning tonight. I will put up the final standings here, just of tonight's feature race. Kyle Heath is our winner of the 45-minute feature race. He won the sprint as well. Top 3 all stayed the same in both of those races. So we were going to have point standings get updated, and we should have them as part of our stream, hopefully here in the near future by the next time we're on track. Again, next Wednesday night we are off. It's our early off week, but because of Thanksgiving, we didn't want to run Wednesday night. So we will be back December 4th in 2 weeks at Sonoma Raceway. So we will see you then, and you all have a great night, and thanks again for watching, and we'll see you. Good night.